Hey you guys, I have a brand new YouTube workout for you today, 60-minute reformer workout. Today we're going to focus on balance and pelvic stability. So you're going to need a lot of focus for this workout. So I want you to be in that frame of mind before you get started, because sometimes these workouts that require so much focus, right? All of Pilates requires focus, and that's why I always say I get lost in the movement when we're doing these workouts, and they get a little longer. That's why. But today especially, I'm going to really need you to focus, okay, and on what your body is, what you're feeling in your body, and finding that strength from within. Okay, so don't get frustrated today. All right, this workout's going to be challenging in many ways. But I want you to stay with me. Okay, we're going to do it together, and it's going to feel amazing after you're all done. All right, so today you are going to need a playground ball. Okay, so I have a 5-inch playground ball. It has a little bit of a squishiness to it, so it's not super hard inflated. It's got a little bit of pliability. You can also use a peanut. Okay, the Franklin ball or the peanut I love, and I would use it for this workout. However, I know many of you don't have that prop. And also, we are going to be doing one move where I do prefer the ball. So where the ball can be used throughout this entire workout, the peanut could be used for most of the workout. So if you have one or the other, either one will work, and I will speak to that when we get to each move specifically. But if you have a playground ball, that would be ideal to go with that today. Your balance pole or your baton you will need. Okay, so right now I have that set up on top of my box at the front of the reformer. The box, okay, is flipped on its side. So I have that little handlebar facing up towards the sky. It's tilted on its side because we're going to be doing a squat sequence, and I wanted the box a little higher because we want to keep our booty above our knees so that core stays engaged today. So that's what you want set up at the front of your machine. The box is going to stay at the front. Okay, so if you don't have room at the front of your machine, it can be anywhere in your space. It's not going to be on the reformer or with the reformer at all today. The box work is totally separate. Your foot bar, you want it in the first position or the upright position. Okay, mine can go all the way upright because it's an infinity bar, but today I wanted it that one click forward. I've got an extra light spring on. Okay, so that's one yellow spring for me. Maybe one white if you have a Merrithew. If you don't have an extra light spring, go with that blue or that light spring, and we'll work through it together, okay? Headrest is down, and your straps are on, ready to go. And I think that's it. Okay, we're going to get started. We're going to get started at the front of the machine today, okay? So come around. You don't need your ball right away, so go ahead and set that down so it doesn't roll away, but you want it close by because you will need it after this first sequence. All right, we're going to take our feet a little bit more than hip width apart. Toes shining forward. That balance pole or baton is going to come right to the top of the thigh. I have an overhand grip. I'm going to broaden the collarbone, roll those shoulder blades down and back. I'm going to draw the navel up and in, and right here, I'm going to exhale as I reach my sitting bones back. I'm going to tap that box and inhale all the way back up. As I reach back with my sitting bones, that pull comes to chest height, and then I inhale to stand, pull comes back to the thighs. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, rise. So again, that box is providing a little bit of a tactile cue today for the body so that we don't go low, too low today. Okay, we don't want the quads and the glutes to take over right now. I want you to keep that core engaged and working for you. Okay, I want you to really think about those ribs stacked over the pelvis. So if you notice right here, I've got a nice long flat back, low flat back. That's nice and flat. I'm not rounding or curving here. My ribs stack directly over my pelvis. Okay, so that's what you want to hold, that nice form, keeping that core engaged. Let's go for 4 more. Just getting those legs warmed up, starting to connect with the body. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Inhale to stand up. Good. On your next one, we're going to hold that squat low, okay, right here. So I'm hovering just over the box, and now I'm going to work with those arms only. I'm going to inhale as I take those arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring them long and low. Now, or not long and low, just to chest height. Inhale, bring them up and overhead. back to chest height. Now I want you to notice that nothing is changing with my torso or my low back. I'm holding an isometric squat. My booty is above my knees to keep that core engaged and working this entire time. I want you to feel the shoulder blades move down your back body as you bring those arms overhead. Biceps stop in front of your ears, so you always see that pull in your peripheral vision, okay? I want you to keep the ribs closed. We don't want to flail and open up there. Last 4. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last 3. Good. Start thinking about your movement here. Last 2. On your next one, you're going to hold that pole up and overhead, and now we're going to pulse that squat. We're going to go 1 inch down, tap the box, 1 inch up. 1 inch down, 1 inch up. I'm just tapping that box, okay? Right underneath that booty is where that leg hits the box. And I want you to think about how those sitting bones are initiating this movement. Okay, those sitting bones right at the center of the glute, they narrow closer to your midline or closer to your spine as you lift. And then as you lower, those sitting bones get further apart. They widen, they broaden. You're here for 8. Whew. Good, last 7. Nice slow control pulses. You're here for 6. Last 5. Whew. We got 4. Those legs are warm. Last 3. And 2. Last 1, and bring it all the way up. Okay, we're going to flip that box down so it's nice and flat. Okay, so go ahead, take that box into that flat position. Okay, it's still going to stay at the front of your reformer. You're going to grab your ball now. Okay, you want your pole and your ball. Okay, so my right foot is going to come onto the box today. At the moment, okay? We will get to the left foot later. The ball, okay, is going to start between the inner thighs, so just above the knee. No higher than that, because I don't want you to over grip with the inner thigh. Okay, so I want it to be a nice light touch. So just above the knee with that ball, pull, again, top of the thighs, overhand grip. We're going to work on a little hip dip, okay? But the hips are going to stay level. So it's a single leg plie, basically on that right leg. We're going to bend the right knee, bring the pole to chest height, and come up. So you're bending that right knee, right? We're softening the right knee. We're holding that ball at the inner thighs, okay? So you're going to feel that ball roll around, and that's okay. I want you to start to feel the connection up the midline, okay? So those inner thighs, that psoas running up along the spine, I want you to find that connection right here. And this is where normally I would have clients start to get frustrated. Okay, so I don't want you to get frustrated here because there's lots of balance and lots of control. Okay, inhale, find that energy running up the right side, of the inner side of the right leg. Inside of the right leg. I can't speak. My words are all meshing together. Last 3. Whew. Last 2. Okay, nice and controlled. You're keeping the chest upright, sternum over pubic bone. Whew. That balance is going to start to get really shaky. Okay, right here on your next one, you're going to hold your plie. So that right knee is soft, chest is tall, pole is right at underarm height. And now right here, we're going to squeeze the ball. Take a little squeeze from the upper inner thighs or that pelvic floor. So I want you to think about that pelvic floor narrowing on the ball. Good, tiny little squeeze. Whew. Good. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. I had to remind myself what's coming up next. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold it there. We're going to inhale to stand back up. Oh, on that right leg. I was going to fall off the box. Bring the pole back down. Now, take that ball, and we're going to pass it behind the left knee. Okay, so the left knee is going to have to bend. You're standing on that right leg. Okay, right from here, we're going to bring that pole back up to chest height. Hold it there. Now, I want you to keep the right knee soft. That's the one on the box. Okay, and that left knee is going to open up to the left and close. Woo! Open up to the left and close. So we're working on that fire hydrant, basically, okay, on that left side. You're moving from the top of the hip. We're opening and closing that inner thigh. Leg is staying in parallel, so I'm not opening the knee. I'm opening the knee and the ankle together. They work together. They stay together for 4. Whew. Last 3. That full foot connection on the right foot is very important here. Good. On your next one, we're going to hold that knee bent, and now we're going to take that knee up in front of the body, okay, with the ball. Now, we're going to open and close that left leg. So we're going to open that left leg out to the side and bring it back to the front. We're taking the left leg into external rotation and bringing it back to parallel. It's an open and a close. Last 4. Open and close. So right about now, I start to hear things like my right calf hurts. Okay, so if that's happening, your right toes on the box might be over gripping, so try to relax those toes. Whew. On your next one, you're going to bring that left knee all the way back down so your knees are tracking with one another again. Now we're going to bring that pole up and overhead. Okay, hold it right there. Now that left knee is going to do a little knee circle. So pick a direction. I'm going to go out first with that knee and draw a little circle with my kneecap. Okay, out and around. I'm focusing on you guys right now. You are my balance. You're here for 4. Keep that right knee soft. Last 3. Good. Last 2. That knee is drawing a circle, but you're moving from the top of the hip. On the next one, you're going to take that circle the other way. The other direction. Oh my goodness, right? That right leg starts to get really shaky for 4. Last 3. You've got this. Last 2. And last 1. And go ahead and bring that pole down and take that ball out from the back of that left leg. Whew! Come down. Now leave your pole up there on the box. You no longer need it. Okay, we're coming around to the carriage with our ball. We're going to do a lunge right here. So you're still on that extra light spring. Your right foot is going to get the ball. So your right toes are going to come down on the floor, and your right heel is going to be on top of that ball. Your left foot is going to come up against the shoulder block, okay? So I'm going to roll back a little bit because you want those knees to start where they're lined up with one another, okay? Now, if you can keep your hands off of your foot bar, fantastic. Okay, if you want to start there to have a little extra support, that's fine. Okay, but I want you to try to then remove your hands from the foot bar. Okay, right from here, we're going to go into a full range of motion lunge. So on your inhale, okay, I want you to extend that left leg back, okay, as long as it can. Now, on your exhale, you're going to bend that right knee so you find a lunge. We're not going to crush the ball with our right heel, and then we're going to inhale as we stand up and straighten that right leg. No longer allowing the carriage to glide all the way into the bumper. Okay, when you stand up, you're straightening your right leg. Okay, and we're keeping that back leg, that left leg, long. Good, now we can start to add those arms into this. Arms can come long by your side. You're going to exhale as you reach your right sitting bone back. Arms come up and overhead. Inhale to stand up. Nice and slow and controlled. Again, right, lots of focus right here. Make sure as you come into that lunge, don't be afraid to take a look at your right knee, the one that's with the ball. That right knee needs to track between big toe and second toe. So take a look down, make sure that's where the kneecap is falling, and make sure that your knee is behind your toes. That comes from the reach of your right sitting bone. So you're taking your left hip bone, you're reaching that for the foot bar as you reach your right sitting bone back. Okay, so that kind of keeps the pelvis level. Let me come all the way up. Good, let's go for 2 more like that because I know you kept moving while I was talking there. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold your lunge low. Hold it right there. Now, I'm going to pulse the ball with my heel. So I'm going to press and release. Press and release. Good. Press and release. This is where it starts to get a little shaky. Keep reaching your left hip for the foot bar and your right sitting bone back. You're here for 4. Last 3. We're going to go back to full range of motion in 2. Last 1. Hold it right here, nice and light on the ball. Stand all the way up to a straight right leg. Bend that right knee. 4 full lunges here. Come all the way back up. Last 3. Allowing the torso to tilt protects my low back. Okay, so I want you to think about that. Allow that torso to lean forward. That lean is coming from that big reach through the sitting bone. Last 2. Whew, try to keep that right heel nice and light on the ball. On your next one, you're going to hold it one more time. Now, we're not going to pulse the ball this time. Instead, we're going to pulse our lunge. So I want you to think about your right sitting bone, and I want you to think about your inner thighs as little scissors. Okay, so we're picking up and releasing, picking up and releasing. Tiny little lift and lower. Keep that right knee tracking with big toe, second toe. Good. Think about that right sits bone narrowing as you lift, broadening as you lower. You're here for 6. Last 5. Woo. We got 4. We're going to stay in this. Last 3. You've got 2. Okay, don't go anywhere. I know it's shaky. Keep a light heel on that ball. You're going to bend your left knee and tap the carriage. Take it all the way out, extend. Bend and tap. So we're doing a little mini carriage pull on that left leg. Left knee taps, and then it sends it back. Good. Open and close the back of that left knee. Woo, we got 6. That right leg is shaking. Last 5. Hang on. You've got 4. Focus. Stay light on that ball. Last 3. Good. You've got 2. All that connective tissue. Last 1. And come all the way up. Woo! And release your heel from that ball. Holy moly, that got shaky, right? So we're going to flip around now. We're going to do a Psoas drag on that right leg. You're going to keep your ball, but the ball is going to stay in your hands this time. So what you're going to do, you're going to keep your springs exactly how they are. Your left foot is going to be on the floor, okay, and your right shin is going to be heavy along the edge of the carriage. I like my toes hanging off the front edge of the carriage. Okay, so if that works for you, go right there. Now we're going to take a shallow lunge with our left leg. So I'm bending my left knee. Notice I have a slight tilt in my torso. I'm protecting my low back. I'm reaching my left sitting bone back, my right hip forward. Ball is going to stay in the hands, and I am going to pull the ball apart. Okay, so I'm going to really just try to rip it into 2. Okay, now right from here, I'm going to hold this position. I'm isometric on my left leg. My right leg with my psoas, I'm going to drag my right knee in to match my left. And then I'm going to take it all the way back out. So your psoas runs up along that spine, okay, as a part of your core. It runs all the way to the middle of your spine, T6. Okay, so I want you to drag the carriage in with that part of your core. Not just the knee, the shin, the toes. No, they're a part of it, right? But I want you to think about pulling with your core. So you're going to draw that navel up and in as you drag that carriage back. Good, hold it there. You're isometric with that left leg. You're pulling that ball apart. Whew, hang on. Good, you got 4 more. 4. Drag those knees so that they match right up to each other. That right knee comes all the way up to match the left. Good. Last 2. Relax your left toes. My toes tend to like to grip things, okay? And we don't want to overgrip with those toes because then we're going to overgrip with that calf. Good. Last one, you're going to hold it in right there. So don't let that carriage go now. We're going to take those arms nice and wide. The ball is in my right hand. And now I'm going to pass the ball to my left. But I'm going to twist to my left to do that. Open back up. Twist to my right. Pass it back to my right. Good. So now we're rotating through the rib basket. We're not releasing the carriage. So now I've got that contracted position through the core, holding that carriage nice and still, and I'm working on rotating waistline up. Whew. Keep that low back nice and long. Keep those ribs stacked over your pelvis, passing the ball back and forth. Last 4. Good, you guys hang on. Don't let that carriage go. Last 3. You're inhaling on your rotation. Last 2. Okay, last set right here, passing that ball over to the left hand, giving that rib basket a nice rotation on the right. Inhale, pass to the right hand. Bring it all the way back out. Now, right from here, I'm going to ask you to hold that carriage a little longer because now we're going to sit a little deeper. So we're going to reach back with our sitting bones towards our right heel and lift. Reach back and lift. For 6, 5. So we're opening and closing that seat crease. Okay, think of the angle at the front of the hips. Last 4. That's the angle I want you to think about changing. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way back out. Guys, okay. We're going to turn around again. Right? We're flipping around a lot today. We're coming onto the carriage. But before you do that, I want you to change your springs. So instead of your extra light, if you had that on, you're going to go now to that light spring, that one blue. Okay, so one blue spring. And you're going to stand up on your carriage. Now, we're going to do a movement, a scissoring of the legs. So what I want you to think about here, okay, I really hear my cues, and I want you to stay over that foot bar. The ball is going to come behind your left knee, but first I want you to get a little more set up. So we're going to have our toes about 6 inches away from the front edge of the carriage. My feet are hip-width distance apart. I'm going to bring my hands to the top of the foot bar, okay? Now, in this position, I'm going to lift my heels. Notice I've already had them lifted. But my left leg is going to get that ball. So I'm going to bend the left knee, okay, and put the ball right there behind the crook of the knee. Now, right heel is off the carriage. Okay, I've got my knees tracking with one another, but notice that my shoulders are over the foot bar. They're over my wrists, okay? Now, right from here, we're going to bend that right leg, the one that's on the carriage. You're going to bend that knee a lot, okay? So I want you to reach your hips back and bend that right knee. Your knee is tracking way in front of your toes, right? But the kneecap is still tracking with big toe, second toe. Okay, right from here, we're going to take the left knee up and back. You're going to hold that position right here. Now we are going to switch our position of our legs. So my right leg is going to extend the carriage back as the left knee comes forward. And then I'm going to switch. I'm going to bend that right knee in and take the left knee back. Try to kiss the bumper. Take the left knee forward with the ball. Right leg becomes straight. And then I switch. Now my pelvis stays nice and quiet here, so that's that pelvic stability. Okay, that comes right back here. And we've hit that, we've focused on that throughout all the sequences so far. Okay, but right here, it's a little bit more free. So I really want you to think about those ribs stacked with the pelvis and the pelvis remaining quiet. Whew, a little running man here for 4. We've got several holds here, so stay with me. Last 3. And just keep listening to my cues. Okay, last 2. Pulling that belly button up and in. You want to kiss the bumper every time. On the next one, you're going to pull the carriage in. That left knee is up and back with the ball. You're going to pulse that leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, hang on, 3, level out your hips, 2, we're going back to full range of motion. Right leg extends. Oof, that feels good. And then bring it all the way back. Good, you guys. Hang on. I'm going to look at my notes really quick and make sure I don't forget anything here because, we got so many layers all the time. Good. You got 2 more. We're going to draw circles with that left knee just like we did when we were on the box. On the next one, hold your right knee bent again. Left knee is up and back. Let's draw a circle with that left kneecap. Draw a circle. Pick a direction. For 4. Woo! For 3, keep that right knee bent. Last 2. All right, right here, back to full range of motion. Start with your left knee high. Extend that right leg for 4. Bring it in. Last 3. We got to draw circles in the other direction. Woo! Last 2. Last 1, you're going to hold that right knee bent one last time. Left knee is up and back. Draw a circle in the other direction. So go the opposite way that you did before. Whoo, if you can remember, you're here for 4. Right, last 3, keep the pelvis quiet. Last 2, big circle, and bring it all the way down. Whoo, and don't lose that ball. Whoo, sweaty on that one, right? Always. Okay. We're going to be coming into a side plank, so come down to your knees. Okay, we're going to start with the right forearm. Let's see, right forearm? No, left forearm. I'm going to have my back to you just for flow. You'll see me the second time around, okay? We're going to take one yellow spring on there. So that extra light comes back. No light, no blue. So just that one yellow spring. You're going to come down on your left forearm. The ball, okay, is going to come between your knees, or just at that inner thigh, just above the knee, okay? Now, in a side plank, sometimes we stack our feet. Today we're going to stagger them. We've got the hold on the ball. That right foot is going to be in front of your left forearm down, okay? So right from here, we're going to keep that carriage in, okay? And we're just going to get set up to start. So I'm going to have you pick up your hips and take the carriage all the way out, okay? Make sure you're in a somewhat comfortable position, okay? Right arm can be up in the air. Now that ball is going to roll around a little bit. I want you to try to ignore it, okay? Right here, we're going to bend the carriage all the way in. Hold on to that ball. From here, we're going to go 2 inches out. So we're going to open up the back of the knee 2 inches and 2 inches back in. 2 inches out and 2 inches back in. Good. Open and close. It's a tiny open and close. So right now, I'm not fully extending my legs. Okay, it's a little open and close of the back of the knee. My right foot is in front of my left. Okay, we're here for 4. Whew. Last 3. Good. Last 2. On your next one, we're going to go all the way out. So we're going to inhale, extend all the way, and then bring it all the way back. Now you've got the ball there, okay? You're going to get a tighter squeeze on that ball as you extend all the way out. All right, we're here for 4. Good. Last 3. Good. You've got 2. Last 1. You're going to hold. We're going to dip the hip up and down. Dip those hips up and down for 4. Whew. 3. You've got 2. Last 1. And bend those knees and bring it all the way in. Oh, side planks always. They always get me. Good. Nice job, you guys. Okay, so we're going to add on that blue spring again. So you've got your yellow, you've got your extra light. Let's add that light spring back on too. So now you have 2 springs. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's change the blue to a red. Let's go to a heavy spring. I remember working this out, and I thought, we could go a little heavier. Okay, so we're going to go red and yellow. Okay? Extra light and heavy. Now that ball, okay, is going to come underneath your left thigh. But I want you to make sure that you are sitting about 6 inches from the edge of the carriage, just like we set up that road runner before where we were on our toes. Now it's your sitting bones I'm talking about. The ball is going to come underneath your left thigh. So my ball is right at the edge of the carriage, and I'm holding it there with my bottom of my left thigh. Okay, right now we're just going to get set up. Toes are going to come to the foot bar, and you're going to have your feet in first position. Okay, so heels together, toes turned out. Hands are going to come to the front edge of the carriage. We're just getting set up. I want you to sit nice and tall to start, okay? In this position right here, I want you to round into a C curve. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to think about curling the tailbone under the body and letting the thoracic spine round. And hold that there, okay? I'm looking at my inner thighs. That helps with that C curve, and I'm going to hold this shallow C curve. I'm pressing on my carriage, the front of my carriage. Now, my left foot, that's the one that has the ball. We're going to take that left leg and hover it under the foot bar. I am still in first position. Even though my heels are not together anymore, I've still got my inner thighs shining up. And my inner thighs are glued together. Okay, holding this shallow curve, we're going to do abdominal massage. We are going to bend the right knee. So that right knee is going to bend. We're going to bring the carriage in, and then we're going to extend it all the way back out. We're going to exhale as we bend. My kneecap tracks with big toe, second toe. We inhale as we extend, still holding that C curve the entire time. So we're challenging flexibility on that left leg. Okay, I want you to think about that reach right now through the hamstring with that leg elevated off the carriage. Point those left toes. I've got the ball of my right foot on the foot bar. Okay, And I'm bending and extending that right knee. That's all that's happening. Everything else is isometric. And I'm holding. I'm thinking about my breath, though. I inhale as I extend the leg, and I exhale as I bring it in. Let's go for 2 more. Good. On your next one, okay, we're going to take it all the way out for this last one. And now we're going to come halfway in. Keep pressing into the front of your carriage. You're going to bend that right knee halfway. So you still have lots of tension on the carriage. Now, my left leg, the one that's hovering below the foot bar, I'm going to tap the foot bar and lower it. Tap and lower. So I'm challenging that flexibility even more in that reach. Okay, you should feel the top of that left leg. Okay, feeling that inner thigh. Recruiting that inner thigh for that lift, working with that hip flexor a little bit. Hang on, you're here for 6. I'm tapping the inside of my ankle. 5, 4. Good, last 3. You've got 2. On the next one, you're gonna hold that leg lifted, and now we're gonna pulse the right side. We're gonna go 1 inch out and 1 inch in. 1 inch out and 1 inch in. And what I want you to think about here is if you can keep that right heel high and lifted. Okay, I know it's not on anything, but still think about if you were lifted in releve on that right side. Okay, keep your left leg lifted and those inner thighs shining up. You're here for 6. Whew, everything should start to shake. This is a little tougher. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. It's hard to connect in this position. Last 3. Good, you've got 2. Whew. Last 1. And bring it all the way back in and relax that left side. Okay, that was good stuff. We're gonna roll all the way down. You're gonna keep the ball in your hand. Leave your springs how they are, because as we continue to move on, we'll be working with these for the next few sequences, so don't worry about that. Get your foot strap out there, though. And I apologize for not mentioning this before, because if it does, the Marathus don't have it hooked on there. I know that. So I apologize for not mentioning that. But you're going to bring your feet underneath your foot strap. So if you have your foot strap on the machine, great. You can also utilize the foot bar. Okay? Come all the way down on your back with that ball. And I want you to scoot so that your shoulders are not directly up against the shoulder blocks. All right? So I've got tension on the foot strap, so it's not just loose. My toes are hooked under there. Okay, and I'm going to bring that ball right to the chest. I'm going to give that ball a nice little pull again. On my exhale, we're going to roll up. Okay, on your exhale, we're going to nod the chin, round the spine, and we're rolling all the way up as we pull on the ball, and then we're going to reach that ball up and overhead. And then from the tailbone, okay, we're going to roll that spine all the way back down to the carriage with control, bringing the ball back to the chest. I'm still pulling on the ball. Okay, exhale, nod the chin, round the spine, rolling all the way up, pulling that belly button in towards the shoulder blades, reaching the ball up and over the head. And now we're going to curl the tailbone, the low back, the mid back, the upper, relaxing all the way down onto the carriage, bringing the ball down as we go. Still pulling on that ball because I'm activating the biceps and I'm feeling that waistline light up as I roll up every time with that added pull on the ball. Curling the tailbone, the low back, the mid back, and all the way down onto the carriage. Exhale, round and curl. We've got 2 more like this, and then we've got some holds coming up. Reaching up at the top of those sitting bones, and then rolling all the way back down with control. Woo, last one. Exhale, pull on the ball, roll round all the way up. Get onto the tips of the sitting bones for that big, big reach. Now from here, we're going to roll just halfway down. Okay, so on your exhale, that tailbone, that low back, and now we're in the most intense part of a sit-up or an ab curl right here, and we're just going to hold it, and we're going to pulse 1 inch up and down as I pull on the ball. I'm trying to rip that ball apart. Good. Open up the collarbone. Hang on. First 6, you've got 5, last 4, whew, we got 3, last 2, right here, don't go anywhere, open up those arms into an airplane again, we're going to pass the ball, okay, that ball goes over to the left hand as we twist, and I open back up. I pass the ball from the left hand to the right hand as I twist, and come back, so still in that most intense part of a sit-up, right? But we're holding on. We're pulling that belly button up and in. The pelvis is remaining quiet as we rotate through the rib basket. Whew. And let's go for two more. Two more. Inhale and twist to the left hand. Open it up. Inhale and twist. Last set right here. Over to the left. Good. Inhale over to the right. Whew. And now right here, we're going to do one last thing. Come back to center with that ball. And now a tight little twist. Left, tap your left elbow. Tap your right elbow. Tap your left. Tap your right. Whew. Tight little twist right through that rib basket. Making it a little quicker here. Whew. Keep the ball tight. I'm not pulling on the ball. We're here for 6. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. Whew, makes it tough to talk. Last 3. You've got 2. Hang on, hang on. Last 1. We're going to roll down with control right through center. Slowly release down to the carriage. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, come on up. We're going to do, unhook your feet. We're going to do a bridge with this ball. Okay, so we're going to use the ball at the inner thigh. Okay, I think we're good on a red and a yellow, although I did plan this on a blue and a yellow, so maybe we should take it down. I'm thinking, yeah. Let's take off that red, guys, and put the blue back on. So you're on on a yellow and a blue, extra light and light. Your feet are going to be on the platform, okay? The ball is going to come right to the inner thigh. So again, just above the knee. Come all the way down on your back. Okay, so we're going to do a little bridge sequence here. Now, I want you to think about shoulders, again, a little bit away from those shoulder blocks so you have nice range of motion. Arms are going to be long by your side, and if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bend your elbows so that your forearms are off the carriage. Okay, so I've got ninja palms, palms facing in, and that's going to give me a little less base of support. We're going to start with a hinge, so I want you to make sure that your heels are on your platform right now. Your heels are on your platform. We're going to nicely hold that ball lightly. We're not going to squeeze it to death. And we're going to inhale as we lift our hips all the way up, and then exhale as we bring them back down. We're going to inhale, lift, exhale, lower. So we're feeling that inner thigh connection, that pelvic floor connection through the core, okay? But you're feeling those hamstrings light up right away. Okay, so I want you to think about that. The carriage is pretty stable, okay, on a blue and a yellow. So it's not naturally going to roll out too easily unless you're really pushing. I don't want the carriage to go anywhere right now. We're keeping it against the bumper. We're just hinging up and hinging down. And remember, we're not trying to shove those hip bones for the ceiling. What we're trying to do is find length on the front body. So it's an inhale and an exhale down. An inhale, finding the internal length. And then we exhale, come back to normal. Okay, so we're going to keep doing that for 2 more. And then we're going to start to hold it up. Whew. All right, you guys, on the next bridge, you're going to hold it. Okay, so you're going to stay lifted. Right from here, we're going to try to drop the ball, but I don't actually want you to drop it, okay, because I don't want you to get up. I want you to release on the ball and close. Release on the ball and close. So challenging the body in a different way, right? It's easy to squeeze on the ball sometimes. I want you to try to loosen your grip on the ball, okay? Starting to think about those abductors and taking the leg away from the body, okay? But we're really focusing on that control here. Keeping the hips lifted, keeping that internal length. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Last 4, inhale, open, exhale, close. Last 3. Good, you're right about now. You know how much you need to open up on that ball not to lose it. All right, on your next one, you're gonna hold it up there. Okay, we're gonna take a light squeeze on the ball, but we're gonna extend the carriage out to 2 straight legs. And then pull it back in. Okay, extend the carriage out 2 straight legs and bring it back in. Now I'm keeping my hips lifted. All right, now if it hurts your low back, okay, I don't want you to go as far out. I'm just gonna have you extend a little and then come back in. Okay, I don't want you to find too much pressure in the low back. We're extending all the way out through the hamstring. You're here for 4 and bring it back. Last 3. Good, pulling the carriage all the way into the bumper. Last 2, keeping those hips off the carriage. right? But we're not shoving the hip bones up. On the next one, you're gonna hold your legs long, okay? If you're comfortable all the way extended, great. If you're not, keep a shallow bend, okay? Right from here, you're gonna squeeze the ball. Pulse in on the ball for 8, 7, 6, 5. Now you're squeezing the ball. 4, 3, 2. Bend your knees, bring it all the way back in. Hold your bridge. Okay, right from here, squeeze that ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2. Okay, now we're gonna set it down for just a moment. We're gonna take that ball away. Okay, and I want you to bring your left leg above the foot bar. Okay, so my foot bar's in the way. If yours isn't, that might be an easier transition. The ball is gonna go back above the knee. Okay, so still got that inner thigh hold on the ball, but now my left leg is above the foot bar. My arms are back down in that position. If you want, now we're single-sided, you might wanna have your arms flat. Okay, so you can kind of find what works best in your body. 4 times we are gonna lift our hips. Okay, so on your inhale, we're gonna lift, driving through that right side. Exhale, lower. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 2, inhale, lift. Whew. Exhale, lower. Range of motion feels very small. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now, one more is a hold. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take it all the way up. Hold, squeeze the ball. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and set it down. Woo! Take that left leg back to the platform. Okay, right leg comes out. We're not coming back to this, so we're doing both sides right away. Bring that ball back to just above the knee. Okay, I've got that right leg toe pointed, hovering above the bar. Left heel is on that platform. Okay, arms still there, down by your side. You're gonna inhale 4 times. We're gonna lift. Inhale and lift. Don't let the carriage go anywhere. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 2, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 1, inhale, lift. Woo. Exhale, lower those hamstrings. On your next one, you're gonna hold it up. Hold. Squeeze the ball. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower it all the way down. Woo, the hamstrings doesn't look big, right? But it feels very big. Okay, we're gonna do that abdominal massage on the other side. So let's take that red spring, that heavy spring back on, take off the blue. So you've got 2 springs on, extra light and a heavy, okay? You're sitting with your sitting bones about 6 inches away from the edge of the carriage. This time the ball is gonna come underneath the right thigh. You're holding it in place right between the carriage and your leg. Okay, right from here, we're gonna bring the balls of the feet onto the foot bar, toes turned out. Okay, my heels are together. We're starting in first position. I'm gonna take my palms to the front edge of the carriage. I'm gonna sit nice and tall on those sitting bones, and I'm gonna find that shallow C curve. So on my exhale, I'm gonna draw that tailbone under, reach the middle of the thoracic spine back, and nod the chin. Hold your C curve here. Okay, now right from here, I'm gonna take my right leg this time, the one with the ball, and I'm gonna hover it under the foot bar. Inner thigh shining up. Okay, so both legs were still an external rotation from the top of the hip. Now right from here, I'm gonna bend my left kneecap tracks with big toe, second toe, and I'm gonna inhale, extend the leg all the way out. Exhale, bend the knee. Your breath is important here. Inhale, take it out. You're gonna get a lot deeper with this abdominal massage, utilizing your breath. Good, exhale, bring it back. Inhale. Exhale. Remember that diaphragm is dropping on the inhale, and we're holding a shallow C curve, so it's very different what's happening. It's an internal massage that's happening. Good. Hang on. Let's go for 4 more. Bending that left knee. Whew. Exhale, bend. This one takes lots of concentration and focus. Like I said, this entire workout, these moves are challenging, but they can be tough to connect inside the body. On your next one, we're going to take it all the way out. And now we're going to come in just halfway. Exhale, bend that left knee. Hold. So you've still got tons of tension on that carriage. My right leg now, we're going to tap the inside ankle to the foot bar and lower. Still holding that C curve. Tap and lower. Press into the front of your carriage with your palms. Good. Press and lower. Lift and lower. Good. Lift, recruiting that inner thigh. Whoo, leg starts to shake. We're challenging that flexibility. We're here for 6. Last 5. We're going to hold that lift in 4. Whew. Last 3. Last 2. On your next one, you're going to hold that lift, and now we're going to pulse through the left side, that left leg, 1 inch out and in, okay? Think about initiating that pulse right where the hamstring and glute meet, so that little glam line right at the back of the leg. Keep that lift on that right side. Keep drawing the belly button in between your shoulder blades. You're here for 8. Whew. 7. You got 6. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. Last 3. Last 2. Oh, that shake on the right side is real. And bring it all the way in. Oh, boy. All right, take that ball out from under there. We're going to do that side plank on the other side. So take off the heavy spring. You've got your one extra light spring on. I'm going to roll. See, now I get to face you this time. Very nice. Okay, right side, right forearm down on the carriage. That ball is going to come right to that inner thigh again, just above the knee. Please no higher than that because you're not going to be able to find any sort of connection that way. The grip is just going to be automatic. So I want you to keep it lower. Okay. Since we're on our right side, my left leg is on top, so that leg needs to be, or that foot needs to be in front of my right, okay, staggered foot position. From here, we're just gonna get set up, okay, keep that elbow underneath the shoulder. We're gonna inhale as we pick up the hips and extend all the way out and get that lift on that left arm. Okay, now from here, we're gonna bring it all the way back in, okay, that was just getting set up. Now right here, we're gonna go 2 inches out, opening the back of the knee, 2 inches back in, 2 inches out, 2 inches back in. So we're not extending those legs all the way yet. We're keeping the pelvis stacked. We're keeping the hips lifted. We're staying lifted out of that right shoulder. We're here for 4. Whew. Last 3. Good. Last 2. On your next one. Okay, we're going to go all the way out. So a big inhale. Take it all the way out. And then all the way back in. Good. Take it all the way out. Extend those legs all the way back in. Good, you got it for 4. We got that little dip through the hips in 3. Whew, think about that length through the inner thighs. 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold it out there. Now we're gonna lower the hips and lift. Little tap and lift for 4. Whew, 3. Last 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way back in. Set those hips down. Whew, okay, what's next? We got that Psoas, oh no, it's the road runner. So we're gonna be standing up on the carriage, okay? So all the way back up, that little running position is what we're gonna hit, but we're gonna do it on the other side this time. I know this one's brutal, but we're gonna do it together. Keep that, change it to 1 blue, 1 light spring. So much spring swapping today, right? Okay, so 1 light spring, no extra light, 1 light, so 1 spring on. That ball is gonna come behind your right knee this time, okay? So right away, I want you to get positioned so that you are about 6 inches with your toes from the carriage edge, and your shoulders are gonna remain over your wrists, so get over that foot bar, okay? The right knee is gonna take the ball, so go ahead and give it to the back of the right knee. Okay, shoulder width apart with those palms, and now I'm going to pick up my left heel, so I'm on my left, the ball of my left foot. Okay, right from here, I'm going to bend my left knee a lot, a whole lot. Okay, and my right leg's going to lift with that ball, point the toe. From here, I'm going to switch positions with my legs. So I'm going to inhale as I take that left leg all the way back out, bring the right knee in, and switch. Okay, so every time I bring my left knee back in, I bend it a lot, and I kiss the bumper with the carriage. Every time, we want that big range of motion. I'm taking my right knee up and back with that ball, and I'm opening the front of my right hip. Opening and closing my right hip. Both hips are opening and closing. You're essentially doing the same thing on both sides. One is free floating, one has resistance. Keep that pelvis stable and level. Okay, one hip bone is not higher than the other. They are level. Whew. All right, we got 4. We got that first hold coming up. Last 3. Good, you've got 2. Last one, right here. We're gonna hold the right knee up and back. So my left knee is bent. We're gonna pulse the right leg up, up for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right here, we're gonna go back to full range of motion. Extend the left leg, pull the right knee in, and switch. I'm keeping a flat back as I pull that knee in. I'm not rounding the spine. Okay, no, that's a little bit tempting here. All right, 2 more, because we're gonna come into that hold again for the first round of knee circles. Remember the direction you draw your knee circles in. Right here, hold. Right knee is up and back. Draw a circle. Draw a circle with that right knee. Woo! We got 4. Good, last 3. Good, last 2. Keep the pelvis quiet. Last 1. Come back and then go back to full range of motion right here. Woo! We got 4. Bring it in. Take it out. Last 3. Pull that belly button up and in. Last 2, we're going to draw that circle the other way. That's our last hold. On your next one, hold that right leg up and back. Left knee is bent a lot. Big circle. Draw it the other way with that kneecap. Keep your pelvis quiet. You're here for 4. Last 3. Whew. Last 2. Last 1. And bring it all the way down. Holy moly. Okay. Well, that's always a tough one. We're coming to the floor, okay, with the ball. Switch your springs. Add that extra light back on and take off the blue. 1 spring, it's an extra light. You're going to turn and face the rear. We're going to do that Psoas Drag. So, right foot is on the floor. Left shin is at the edge of the carriage. My left toes hook over the front edge of the carriage, okay? Now, right from here, I'm going to take a shallow lunge on my right leg. So I'm going to step that right leg a little bit more forward so it's lined up with my headrest, and I'm going to lunge into it softly, not a big lunge. My right kneecap tracks with big toe, second toe. I've got a hinge to my torso, protecting my low back, and that navel is pulled up and in. I'm going to pull on this ball. Give it a nice big pull. Okay, right from here, we are pulling the carriage with our psoas. So on your exhale, we're going to drag that left knee in to match the right, and then send it all the way back out. I want you to think less about your toes hooked on that carriage and more about the psoas dragging. Okay, so let's bring it all the way up to the core. My right side is isometric. Pulling on that ball. Good, I'm dragging my left knee to match up with my right knee. Good, hang on. Pull that belly button up and in. Think about that inner thigh or that psoas coming up along the spine like a suspender strap. Pull that suspender strap up. You've got 4. Whew. If your right toes on the ground are gripping, try to relax them. You've got 3. Good. Last 2. Hang on. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold it in right here. We're going to take that ball into the left hand, open up nice and wide. My arm, I hit the mirror here. But I'm going to twist and pass it to my right hand. Make sure your arms are nice and long. My right arm is bent because of the mirror, but I want you to just ignore me and you worry about yours. Okay, twist. Keeping that left psoas engaged now. We've got that carriage dragged in and it's not going anywhere. It's not invited to move. The pelvis remains quiet as we do this little twisting motion. We're twisting from the waistline up, that rib basket. Good. Hang on. We got 4. Twist and open. Whew. And open. Last 3. Don't let it go. Tighten up through the core. Last 2. Good. If those my right toes on the floor started to grip again, try to relax those toes. Good. Last pass. Whew. Now right here, actually, I'm going to pass it back to that left hand since my left arm is straight and my right arm is not. And now I'm going to keep holding this, but we're going to sit into that left hip and come back up. Both hips. You're sitting a little deeper and lifting. Reach with those sitting bones and lift. For 6. Whew. For 5. Hang on. You've got 4. Last 3. You've got 2. And this is your last hover. and bring it all the way up and release that carriage. Oh, okay, we're coming into that lunge. Turn around, okay? Leave your springs exactly how they are. Your left foot is gonna go on the floor with the ball under the left heel. Okay, remember when we did this on the other side? I know you can't see my foot, maybe in the mirror, but you're gonna bring your right foot up against the shoulder block. So you've got the ball of your left foot on the floor, your heel is on the ball, okay? So I'm already thrown off balance with that, right? So I don't have flat feet anywhere. I want you to stand tall. Okay, I'm going to roll my ball back a little bit so that my knees start lined up with one another. Okay, you want to start where the legs are under the hips. Okay, right from here, on my inhale, I'm going to extend my right leg back. On my exhale, I'm going to bend my left knee into that lunge. Let my torso tilt. Okay, so notice that I'm tilting forward. Inhale, stand up to a straight left leg. Good, so right here, I'm kind of getting situated in my own body on this side because things are tired, right? Things are really shaky right now. We've been working for about 50 minutes. So you're tired already. I want you to think about moving slowly and move with control. That foot bar is there if you need it. I want you to lighten up your stance on the ball. Okay, we're not pressing the ball into the floor. I don't want you to use it like the ground. You're trying to stay lifted through the heel. My kneecap tracks with big toe, second toe. Let's add those arms. We're going to exhale as we reach that left sitting bone back, reaching the right hip bone forward, left sitting bone back. That levels out my pelvis. Okay, and come all the way up on your inhale. I'm going to change my foot position a little bit. There we go. Good, reach it back. And up. All right, let's go for 4 more. And we're going to start with that first hold. And lift. Whew, and I have you on such a light spring because I don't want you pushing the carriage with your right foot. Okay, that carriage should just glide back there. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold it low. Find your lunge. Okay, right here, you're going to pulse on the ball. So you're going to press down and release. Down and release for 6. Whew. 5. Good. You've got 4. Hang on. Last 3. Keep those ribs stacked over the pelvis. Last 2. We're going to go back to that full range of motion right here. We're going to inhale as we stand up to a straight left leg. And then we're going to exhale as we come back into our lunge. Inhale, stand. Exhale, lunge. Let's go for 2 more. And we're going to go on to that next hold where we're going to not release the ball, pulse the lunge. I'm trying to think of what we were doing. Good. On the next one, you're going to hold your lunge. Hold your lunge. Okay, right from here, we're going to pulse the lunge. So from your left sitting bone, you're lifting and lowering, and your inner thighs, I want you to think of them as a pair of scissors. Okay, they close a little and they open a little. Close a little and open a little. Think about those inner thighs pulling up along the spine for that closure. Good, you're here for 6. 5. Last 4. You've got 3. Last 2. And bring it all the way up. Holy moly. Okay, those quads are getting it today too, right? Oh, that whole lower half. Okay, let's just make sure I didn't forget anything because, sometimes that happens. Oh, I did. I forgot our carriage pole. Okay, put that ball back. Step back into your lunge. Oh, my goodness. See, I knew it. I had a feeling. I had a bad feeling. You could probably see it in my face. We're going to find one more time. One more time, find your lunge. Okay, we had a little reset. Hit the reset button right there. Okay, now from here, we're going to tap the right knee to the carriage. Bend and tap. And extend. Bend and tap. Still reaching your left sits bone back, your right hip bone forward. Keeping the pelvis level, keeping the ribs stacked over the pelvis. Good, hang on. Since we had that little reset button, I'm going to here for 8 more. Good, last 7. Lighten up on your ball. 6. 5. Good, you've got 4. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. And now bring it all the way up, guys. Nice job. Okay, take that ball up. Okay, we're going to come into the box work, okay? And then we've got one last sequence on the carriage. So come around to your box. Find your pole. My back is going to be to you this time, guys, so sorry about that. But you remember from the first time around, right? We're going to bring that ball right to the inner thigh again, just above the knee. My right foot is now hanging off the box. My arms are long in front of the body with the balance pole or baton. Okay, right from here, we're going to start with that single leg plie. Level out your pelvis, flex your right foot. Okay, right here. We're going to bend, arms come to chest height, and then inhale to stand. Exhale, bend. Inhale, stand. So we're staying tall through the chest. This is not a squat. It's a plie. I want you to stay lifted right there. I want you to think about the energy pouring down the outer line of that left side, under the left sole of the foot, and up that left, the inside of the left leg. So all around that left leg, we've got lots of energy. We're lifting up on that inhale with that inner thigh running into that pelvic floor. Good, inhale to lift. Last 4. Whew, there goes my balance. Last 3. That left leg is tired. Good, last 2. We got our first hold coming up. On your next one, you're going to hold your plie right here. That balance pole is at chest height. We're going to squeeze on the ball. Squeeze on the ball. Little pulse. It's not fast. It's controlled. And I want you to initiate the squeeze, not from your knees, but from your pelvic floor. So draw that pelvic floor up and in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come all the way up. Now, take the ball to the back of the right knee. Bend the right knee. My knees are tracking with one another to start. That balance pole is going to come up to chest height, and it's going to stay there. It's going to help us with balance. My left knee is going to soften, and now my right leg. We're going to take it out to the side and bring it down. Open the inner thigh and close. So we're doing that little hydrant, that little fire hydrant. I'm not just opening the knee. The knee and the ankle open together. Okay, lots of stability. Don't get frustrated here. I think this box work is one of the things that can be most frustrating. Okay, that balance and that control. That stability is so important. And as we get older, it tends to fade. So if we keep working on it, we're just going to feel younger. You're here for 4. That's not a bad thing, right? Last 3. Whew. Last 2. Hang on. Ground the inside of that left foot. Now right here, we're going to draw knee circles with that right leg. So pick a direction and draw a circle from the top of your hip. So the kneecap is drawing the circle, right? But I want you to move from the top of the hip, still keeping a quiet pelvis, still keeping that left knee soft. That's going to help you with stability. You're here for 4. Lots of mobility on that right side. 3, lubricating that hip socket. Last 2. All right, we're going to go the other way. You're going to feel that left leg a whole bunch. Rotate the other way or draw that circle in the other direction. Whoo, you got it. Hang on. You might find one leg is a lot more stable than the other. Right, we did the other leg a long time ago. You're here for 4, right at the beginning of class. Last 3. 2, last 1, and come all the way up. Whew, and take that ball out. Nice job. Okay. I feel like I forgot something again on that side, and I sure did. Open and close the gate. Guys, put that ball back. Whew, my brain, I don't know where it is today. Okay, it doesn't matter what order we do them in. So put the ball behind the back of that right knee. That pole is going to come up to chest height one more time. Okay, now you're going to take your right knee, and you're going to bring it in front of the hip. Now we're going to open and close that door. Open the right inner thigh and close the right inner thigh. See, this is why I make notes. Because with all the layers, and I'm trying to think about how to get you guys into the right position, I tend to miss a layer. But I don't miss it because I write the notes down. So we're back at it, right? Here we are. Last 6. This is it, though. Inhale. Everybody's range of motion is different here. 5. So I don't want you to worry about how much you're opening up that leg. I want you to focus on your control and your stability at the pelvis. Last 3. Stay shining forward with those hips. 2. Whew. And last 1. close it up, and bring it down. And that balance was going anyway. Okay, put the pole down. This is your last sequence, okay? Come onto your carriage. You're gonna have one blue, okay? So take off your yellow, one blue spring, one light spring. Come all the way down on your back with the ball. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take the ball underneath the sacrum, okay? So you're gonna place it right at the base, just below the tailbone, okay, is where you want that ball. And we're gonna balance on it. So again, pelvic stability, okay? You're gonna balance and pelvic stability, both together. You're gonna take your short straps. You can always use your long ones if the short become too aggressive, okay? You're gonna bring them up and over the underarms. Legs are gonna come into tabletop. So already you should feel balance on the ball. What I want you to focus on here is your hip bones shining straight up because we want to have a neutral pelvis. If I let my low back dip, see what happens? I'm going into a posterior tilt. No good. I also can go the other way, right? And I cannot not hold my knees over my hips and go into an anterior tilt. So I want you to really focus on keeping the knees over the hips, pulling the belly button up and in, and keeping the pelvis quiet. Okay, that's our goal here. Knees are 4 inches apart. They are directly over my hips, okay? That's going to challenge us even more. We're going to start with just the arms. So on your inhale, your arms are going to come down towards the carriage. Exhale, bring them back. We are not going to do any ab curling here because we are lifted through the pelvis on that ball, okay? So I don't want to overstrain the back of the neck. Last 2, okay, right here, we're just focusing on that balance and control. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, take those arms down. On the next one, you're going to hold those arms up over the chest. Okay, we're going to draw the elbows down to the carriage. Palms are still facing the foot bar. From here, we're going to work on a single leg extension. So I'm going to unfold my elbows as my right leg extends, and then I'm going to fold again at the elbows and bend the right knee in. My left leg extends, unfold at the elbows, pull it back in. So we're getting a little bit more challenging with the control through the pelvis here. Okay, stabilizing on that ball, not easy, right? Keep pulling that belly button in towards the spine. Things are going to start to get a little shaky here because that core is working 360 degrees all the way around the body right now. Good. Hang on. Reach. Think about that inner thigh reaching right out that big toe. Good. I want you to think about that inhale right there. I gave a nice big exhale on that extension. I want you to think more about an inhale on the extension of the leg. Good, you guys. Last 2. Good. Exhale back. Last 1. Bring it back. Now, my arms are going to go straight back up over the underarms. So they're right up towards that ceiling again. Now we are going to go both legs, both arms. Try to keep your legs apart. Okay? So on your inhale, taking those arms all the way down to the carriage, extend both legs, and then pull them back in on that the exhale. Inhale, extend both legs, take the arms down, and bring it in. Whoo! Take it down. Take it out, I should say. And in. We got 6. And back. Good. Last 5. Keep drawing that belly button up and in. Good. You've got 4. Last 3. You can always close up those legs if you feel like you need a bigger connection through the midline or a deeper connection through the midline. Good. It is more challenging having the legs apart. Whoo! On your next one, you're going to hold your legs long. Hold them nice and long. And now we're going to do little scissors over, little crisscross kicks over and under with those legs. Those inner thighs are coming right over each other, over and under. Good. Think about your inner thighs, not your ankles. You're here for 6, 5. Stay stable on that ball. 3, 2. Good, you guys, right here. Reset, pull it back to start. We've got one more hold, okay? You're going to take it all the way down and out with those legs, and now we're going to windmill those legs. So my left leg is going to come up towards the sky, right leg is long, and now I'm going to swivel those legs around. Right leg straight up, left leg long. So my left leg now is straight to the ceiling, right leg is straight off the hip. And then they switch. So I'm drawing a little semicircle with both legs. I like to call these windmills. Good, around, kind of like a fan. Good, think about those inner thighs again, pulling in towards the midline as you get those legs to come all the way around to their end point. Hold and pause there. Feel that connection through the midline. Good, hang on, you're here for 6. Whoo, stable on the ball. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. We are ending with a plank. Last 3. And 2. And last one right here. Bring it all the way around. Pull those knees in. Whew, and come all the way in. Feet find the platform or the foot bar. Go ahead and take that ball out from under you. Hang up your straps. Last move. Last thing. All right, I'll give you a quick little stretch if you want to hang on with me for that. Okay, you're going to turn around. Let me make sure I got this, okay? We're going to turn around and face the rear. The ball is going to come right between the inner thighs, but before it can go there, we need to get into position. So, you know what? I think I might change that all completely. I'm going to have you have toes on the foot bar. So place your ball. We're not going to use it. Place it right by the headrest, okay? Your hands are going to be on the carriage. I'm going to have you go straight out to a plank, but you know what we're going to do? We'll start on the platform first. So toes turned under on the platform. You're going to inhale. Take it all the way out to a plank. You are on one blue, so if you feel like you need to change it to that lighter spring, go ahead and do that, okay? You're going to take your toes up to the foot bar. Okay, that's if you're up for it today, toes to the foot bar. So now we are in an elevated plank. Okay, so right here, we're loading the shoulders a little bit more than we normally would. Okay, right from here, keeping those feet 4 inches apart. We're going to exhale as we pike the hips up and back. You're going to let the biceps surround your ears. Inhale, take it all the way out. Exhale, draw those inner thighs up into the low belly and the pelvic floor to pull the carriage against the bumper. And then inhale, take it all the way out. Whew, exhale, pull it up, draw it in. And take it out. Let's go for 4 more. Draw it in. Keep those shoulders over those wrists. Think about pulling that belly button up between the shoulder blades to get that lift. Whew, reaching the tailbone away from the crown of the head. Last 2. Good, you guys. Last 1. Come all the way back to your plank. Hold it right there. Hold and breathe. Now give me a mini push-up. You're going to bend those elbows wide. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend wide. 6 more. 6. Whew. 5. You got this. 4. Elbows chase, or the collarbone chases the elbows. 3. Last 2. Whew, last 1. And bring the knees down slowly and come all the way in. I felt that on that blue spring, that little extra resistance or pushback. That was a real thing. Okay. All right, you guys, turn around. Set the ball down between the box or on the floor. You don't need it anymore at all. We're going to do a quick little stretch. Okay, right away, you're going to lie on your back. Okay, and I want you to take a red and a blue. Okay, a heavy and a light. And come all the way on your back. We're going to do a short spine stretch. So we're going to take those loops off their rest, okay? And we're going to put those long loops around our feet. So you're on quite a bit of resistance, so take it slow. Okay, take those loops around the arches of the feet. We're going to glue the tailbone down to start. And I want you to find a neutral pelvis. So for me, that brings my feet slightly in front of my body, or slightly in front of my hips, so that I can get those hip bones to shine straight up. My arms are going to come long and low by the side. Make sure your headrest is down for this. Okay, from here, I'm going to keep my inner thighs glued together and keep my legs in parallel. As I exhale, I'm going to let the tailbone peel up off the carriage. I'm going to let the weight of the springs draw my hips up and over. Okay, and I'm going to bend my knees, taking the knees close to my nose. Good, right from here, I'm going to roll through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, to bring myself back down to the carriage, glue the tailbone down, and extend the legs all the way out. Okay, exhale. Let the tailbone draw up and off the carriage. Let yourself roll through the spine, coming up onto the shoulders just a bit, bend your knees towards your nose or towards your forehead, and then you're going to slowly articulate through the spine, rolling the spine back down onto the carriage. Glue your tailbone down and extend through the legs. Good, 2 more just like that. Lift with control. Don't move fast, move nice and slow, right? Most things in this room are nice and slow. Good, bending the knees at the top and rolling and articulating through the vertebrae to lie it back down on the carriage. This is your last one, taking it all the way up, letting the tailbone peel, the low back, the mid back, bending your knees, and drawing all the way down through the spine, focusing on the spine and the movement there rather than the legs. Good. Now staying right here for just 1 second, you're going to open those legs into a straddle, circle them up and around. Okay, so you're a little bit heavier on those springs right here, but I want you to let the weight of the springs just separate the legs. Let those inner thighs pull apart, circle up and around at the top. Good. Lengthen, hinging those legs down to just about foot bar height, and then you're going to let those inner thighs open with the weight of the straps and circle up and around. We're only going to go in this direction here. Good. 2 more just like this. Open up those inner thighs, let the weight of the straps pull them apart. Good, bringing those legs out and around. My tailbone is glued to the carriage at this point. Last one. Good, up and around. Whew. Good, now right from here, you're going to bend those knees. You're going to take off those straps, hang them up on the holders right behind you. Okay, now you're going to lengthen out, but before we do that, just because I don't want you to press too hard, take off that heavy spring. Okay, come all the way back down on the carriage. We'll do a little spinal twist. You're going to press away from the platform with both legs. My heels are still connected. I'm going to take the right knee and hug it into the chest, give it a nice little hug. And now that right knee is going to go over to the left side of the carriage. My right arm is going to reach out to the right. I'm going to look at my right fingertips and get that little spinal twist. That feels nice after that short spine stretch. Hang on right there for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Come all the way back through center. Connect that tailbone. Extend that right leg. Bend the left knee and give it a little hug. Good. Take that left knee over to the right side of your body. That left arm reaches out to the left, getting that nice spinal twist. Hold it there. For 4. Last 3. Last 2. Coming all the way back through center. We'll do a quick little figure 4, bending both knees in, taking that right ankle over your left thigh. Let's take our hands behind the left thigh and draw that thigh close to the chest, pressing the right knee open with our right elbow. We're going to extend that left leg towards the sky and slowly bend that left knee back down, pressing that right ankle a little closer to the chest for 4. Last 3. 2. Good. Releasing that side. Right foot comes to the platform. Left ankle comes over that right thigh. We're going to grab behind the right thigh. Open that left inner thigh with our elbow and pull that into the chest. Take that right leg up towards the ceiling. And as you bend that right knee down slowly, it's going to press that left ankle a little closer to your chest. Hold that stretch right there. You're here for 4. Last 3, last 2. Releasing it all the way down, come all the way up. Take your legs, last thing, onto either side of the frame, okay? Sitting with those inner thighs nice and open. You're going to reach your hands to that front platform, reaching your hips back, and just getting that stretch a little deeper through the inner thighs right there. That feels great in my body, bringing the chest to the carriage. Hold it here for 4. Last 3. And 2, and then coming all the way back up, guys, and you are all set. I always take you over with that stretch. That's intentional. I don't want to take our 60 minutes of work and really throw a long stretch in there, unless that's what it's all about that day, right? So I do have some stretching and recovery and flexibility work on the site, not as much as some of the other stuff, but more to come on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this workout today, okay? It took a lot of focus, a lot of control, okay? And you probably noticed that in my body as well. Sometimes when those movements require that much focus. It's hard for me to cue you guys. So if I got tongue-tied a couple times, that's why. I apologize. I would love to know your thoughts about the workout, so don't be afraid to add comments below the video. I respond to each and every one of you, good or bad. Okay, I like the creative criticism, or what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it. Anyway, I love all your feedback, but please don't be afraid to leave comments. I will get back to you. If you have questions for me, place them there below the video as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a thumbs up because it allows me to bring you more videos on a consistent basis. I do have a live reformer class that happens once a week. So if you have access to a reformer on a regular basis and you have one in your home and you'd like a little bit more of an intimate setting, let me know. Okay, you can reach out to me on social media. On Instagram is the best. I will get back to you on Facebook as well, but you can send me a DM and I will respond to you and ask you for your email address, where then I can send you more information about the live classes. They happen once a week. Currently they are happening on Saturday mornings, but that has changed a couple times, so it's flexible. There's a recording done during the workout so that everybody who signs up for class, whether they are there live or not, receives the recording. So you can do it over and over again. And it allows me to connect with you a little bit more personally. So if you do have modifications needed, injuries, surgeries, or you just want to dig deeper into your body, that's a perfect way. The classes are a little bit more advanced for that reason, because I can work with you that much closer and cue you that much deeper. They run about the same, about 60 minutes. And I'm here for any and all questions. All right, you guys, so awesome job today. I will see you next time, and reach out to me on social media. I love hearing from you.